Alright, welcome back to Dinopedia at entry number 40, the T-Rex, or the Rex, as you want to call it in ARK. Remember to like if you like, and subscribe down below for more videos. Alright, so our schedule as usual is to look at the ARK Survival T-Rex, or what it's called in ARK, the Rex, tips and tricks for the Rex, potential add-ons for the T-Rex in ARK Survival Ascended and ARK Survival 2, and reworking the Rex for my new game Dino World. Not much to the rework, but let's see. So first, let's talk about the ARK Survival Rex seen here. Description: Animalia and group Reptilian. Its kingdom is Animalia because it's an animal, and group Reptilian because dinosaurs are lizards. And of course, its description is a Rex because, well, it's in the Rex family of theropods. Some traits: in the wild, it is aggressive towards other carnivores, and players will walk near big herbivores passive unless hungry. So you will see these walk near other herbivores like brontosauruses, stegos, and trikes, but it will not attack them unless it's hungry, but it will attack other carnivores on sight. So it will not be near any other carnivores unless these other carnivores kill it, like a giga, but it will attack other carnivores on sight, and will attack you as always, as all carnivores do. So of course, the Rex stat block in ARK, it has health of 1100, stamina 420, nice, oxygen 150, food and water 3k each, weight 500, base melee damage is 62, and walking speed is 5.15 meters per second with a swing speed of 3 meters per second and a torpor of 1550. So pretty sizable. It's pretty good for a dinosaur of this size, but nothing near as big as the Giga, of course. So some tips and tricks. As an offensive tank, it's high damage and high health pool. It can deal more damage than sauropods and take a lot of attacks as well. So use it as a substitute for a sauropod like a brontosaurus or diplodocus. Of course, the titanosaur does more, but it is a titanosaur. So there's only one or two that spawn per match. With Rexes, you can breed as many as you want. Of course, intimidation. Its roar intimidates all creatures except for the Giga, Spino, and Yudi, making all other wild creatures and players defecate on sight. This also includes the Carcrow. So apparently, when the Carcrow was added, they didn't add it to the list of creatures that were immune to its intimidation roar. So so the Carcrow is affected by a Rex's intimidation roar. So it does. So even though the Giga, Spino, and Yudi are the only three creatures that are exempt, every other creature is. So even a Titanosaur will be intimidated, even a Carcrow will be intimidated, but not a Giga, Spino, or Yudi. It'll also make other creatures back away. This does work on the Giga, Spino, and Yudi, so it will blow back creatures from its presence. So Gigas, Spinos, and Yudis will back away, but they will not have the intimidation debuff added to themselves. Also some tricks. It is a boss killer, one of the best dino packs to use against defeating bosses with high health pools because its aggro range is the highest in the entire game. So the aggro range means the highest distance in which it will notice you and try and attack you. So even if you're really far away from it, it has the highest aggro range in the game. So if you think you're far away and it's still chasing you, that's how you know that this thing is overpowered. Is that even if you're really far away from it, it will still attack you. So just be careful of that. It's also the second best creature for harvesting dead carcasses with best rates in gathering meat, prime meat, hide, and keratin, besides high-level wyverns. So it's the best if it's a low-level wyvern, but a high-level wyvern against a high-level Rex, the high-level wyvern will have better rates, but only high-level wyverns. So some additional qualities I'd like to be added to the game, second to none. I think it's at the best in meat harvesting, since it already does if you don't have high-level wyverns yet. And I think its intimidation buffs and roar effect should affect all dinosaurs regardless of size, except for, and this is variable, high-level Spinosauruses and Trikes, kind of dealing back to how Trikes are seen as the rivals of T-Rexes, and of course the Spinosaurus has made kind of a bill for itself as a T-Rex rival as well. So only high-level Spinos. So level 10 Spino, still intimidated, but a level 100 plus Spino, no, it's not going to get intimidated. And then also terrain transport. I think it should be able to walk through any terrain without being hindered. So it should be able to walk up mountains since it lives in the mountains. Rocky, hot, cold, freezing, vines, thicket, thog, damp. So if it walks through a swamp, it should also not be hindered. I think that'd be pretty cool to like give it some extra resistance, because it is kind of seen as a lackluster dino, even though it shouldn't be because it's the Rex, but it is Ark, so with Gigas existing and Carcrows existing, it's kind of hard to see the Rex as a valiant predator. So looking at the Ark Survival Rex versus the Jurassic World Rex, honestly, I think the Rex in Jurassic World is still the better designed. However, I will say the Ark Rex does look pretty intimidating, even though it is not as intimidating as the Jurassic World Evolution 2 one. But I do think the movies just make the Rex in Jurassic World and Jurassic Park look scarier. I don't know. Looking at the Dino World model, I think the Ark one is better, even though ours has a better color scheme. Again, the Ark Survival one is not all white. This is just the variant that I found on the wiki page, but it does have brown skin in game, so I can't say it doesn't look like this. If I wanted to compare it based on how the model looks, the Ark takes the cake because it has some armor plates on the back and some spikes up here and some ridges on the eyes. So I do think it looks better than our model, but our model is more basic. So the T-Rex in Dino World, the only difference from its counterpart in Ark is the fact, name-wise, is that instead of being just called the Rex, it's called the T-Rex, because there are other types of Rexes. So there's two types of T-Rexes, the normal T-Rex, that is the wild and tamed dino variant you can find in the wild or tamed, and then the mutated T-Rex, which is a product of two tamed T-Rexes, mating, breeding, and laying eggs, plus a gene computer for mutations. So of course the T-Rex is an animal, and in Kingdom Animalia is also a lizard, so it's in the group Reptilian. Its class is Theropod. As we discussed before, Theropods are 3-fingered and 3-toed carnivorous dinosaurs, which are why it's in the Theropod class, and it's in the family of Rex. Obviously, it's the front runner for the Rex family, which also includes the Nanotyrannus, Tarbosaurus, and Udyrannus. So of course the T-Rex in Dino World has some upgraded stats from Ark if we can compare them. Health is 1500 instead of 1100, stamina is 500 instead of 420, nice. Oxygen is 200 instead of 150, weight is 600 instead of 500, base damage is 70 instead of 62, speed is 5 meters per second, a little bit down from 5.15 meters per second, with a total of 1600 instead of 1550, with a fortitude of 3. So all stats are pretty much upgraded except for walking speed, which is down a little bit, but not much, and of course the fortitude is 3. So some additional traits for the T-Rex in Dino World. As usual, we add stuff to make it more effective. This is, number 1 is extra spawns. There's a mated spawn, which is a male and female Rex spawning together. Normal spawn is just one Rex spawning. It can be either male or female. And then there's the family spawn, which is a male, female, and baby Rex, just to give some extra spawns from the Rex family. And then intimidation. In the wild, every creature fears the Rex, even Giga and Titans, with no creature attacking them outright. So even if a Rex and a Spino are walking next to each other in the wild, they will not attack unless the Rex attacks first. And since the Rex aggroes on most carnivores, the Rex will probably just aggro on the Spino, so this doesn't really matter that much. But if you're riding one, Gigas will not attack you, Titans will not attack you. It's the intimidation of the Rex will protect you, so it does make it a very valuable tame when having to walk through a crowd of Gigas. And then number 3, the King's Roar intimidates all creatures except for high-level Spinosaurs and Trikes, whom are both rivals of the T-Rex. So similar to Ark, there is a roar that pushes creatures back, intimidates all creatures except for high-level Spinosauruses and Trikes. So it is useful to have Trikes and Spinosauruses at a high level, because they're the only creatures that aren't affected by the King's Roar. And then ability Rex Roar pushes all creatures in its path with an extra boosted intimidation debuff that affects all creatures, so even high-level Spinosauruses and Trikes will be affected, but won't get the extra boosted intimidation debuff that all other creatures get. So Spinosauruses and Trikes will still get an intimidation debuff, but won't get the boosted heavy intimidation debuff, because they are still immune a little bit. This also pushes all creatures back regardless of fortitude, so of course it will push any creature that is 3 or above backwards in its path in a frontal direction of where it's facing, with a 15-second cooldown. And finally, to wrap up, we'll be looking at the Dino World spawns for the main map of Europa for the T-Rex. Of course, spawn rate are color-coded, with blue being guaranteed, green very likely to spawn, yellow few to likely spawn, orange rare to spawn, red very rare to spawn, and purple for dead carcasses to spawn. So of course the biomes you can find the T-Rex, it is few to likely to spawn in the Volcanic Bay area in the north part of the map. It is rare to find them in the central plains, but they do spawn there, and it's very rare to find them, but you can still find them in the Snowy Mountains area. So mostly you're going to find it in the mountainous areas of the map, but you can also find them rarely in the central plains feeding on gallimimuses and other herbivore creatures. Alright, and that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like it. Comment down below your thoughts. Let me know what you like or thinking about. Everyone have a blessed day as always, and of course, as always, toodaloo!